Hello everybody and welcome back to Magna Carta 2. In the last video, we continued to make our way through the Sentinel Laboratory. We finished up in Laboratory 2, and we're on our way to Laboratory number 4. Before we can get there though, we have to go through Lab number 3, which is where we're headed to at the moment. So, as per usual, we're just going to take out these soldiers. I've changed my party makeup a little bit. I've decided to put in all of my wizards, just for a little bit of an interesting spin. I don't see why not, because they're all long-ranged, which gives us a little bit of an advantage. And the seed fall doesn't affect us in here, so this is kind of a nice opportunity to use them. Seeing as how I usually always have Judo or Argo or both in the party, and one of my wizards always kind of sits on the bench. And it looks like I can get into Laboratory 3 here. There are some barriers around the third lab, so you're kind of forced to go in a linear path to reach the door.
This place! Oh, that's...
There's lots of Jutos!
What the hell is going on here?
These are vessels we prepared to create Elgar.
Vessels? Create?
Nothing? You still can't remember that part of it at all.
What's going on? Start talking!
Elgar is a being who was created by Xuenzite, his master. Elgar was created using wizardry called the Blood Pact. Essentially, he's a humanoid sentinel.
Humanoid Sentinel?
The Sentinels manufactured as monster weapons have an intelligence that is noticeably low, and are unable to carry out complicated orders. And so Xuenzite desired an intelligent Sentinel that only he could control, to help him purge the nobility who opposed him. What was created as a result was Elgar. The Blood Pact itself was conducted by wizards, but the physical vessel used in the creation was made by me.
Huh?
Although it was under duress after I had been dragged to the laboratory by force. You were the first made. In other words, first Elgar. And the current Elgar is second Elgar. He was created as your replacement when we believed you had died.
And if second dies, they'll use the remaining vessels to create a third one, a fourth one, and so on.
Probably. I think so. I'm terribly sorry.
You don't need to apologize. The real one to blame is Xuenzite.
Why would he do something like this? It's horrible!
I remember. I was given life in this room. And you, Nyx. You were here too. You're the first person I saw when I opened my eyes.
Elgar, your memories are...
I see. So that was you, Nyx. I remember.
Your memory has returned.
Of all the researchers, you were the only decent one. All the others treated me like some kind of freak.
When we received news of First's death, that's when it hit me. I realized just how cruel my actions had been. First, I'm so glad you're alive. It's one less weight on my conscience. I'll destroy all of the research data here.
Good. Make sure no one creates a third. Not even by accident.
Judo.
I'm all right.
Excuse me, but why would they bring the princess to this lab?
Zephie?
That was because of a certain command. When Elgar first opened his eyes, Shuenzite carried out a powerful branding, that is, a deep imprinting. It was, the princess must not be harmed. Do not allow her to be killed. A master can only perform a single imprinting on a Sentinel's Kamond. That command is forever etched into the Kamond, and it binds the subject so that it can never disobey until the day it dies.
You must not allow her to be killed. That order takes priority over all others. You absolutely must not allow her to die.
Oh, I see. That was Shuenzite's command. When he did it, you were there, weren't you, Nix?
Yes. I was there to observe the ritual. Actually, Shuenzite called the princess the Magna Carta back then. Do you remember?
Magna Carta? Why?
She is this world's precious Magna Carta. She will polish her Kamond on the battlefield to make it shine all the brighter. As I recall, that's what Shuenzite said.
Judo, are you okay? You've gone completely pale!
I have a terrible feeling about this. We have to find Zephie and fast.
I understand. Time is of the essence, isn't it?
The truth was one painful blow after another. Inside my head, fragments of memory were washing over me like a tsunami. But my heart was growing emptier and emptier. I would have been better off not knowing that this was my past.
Wow, that's quite a load of information. To think that Judo is actually a Sentinel is a really bizarre kind of thought to have, but I guess it's true. And I guess that's why he's been able to be so powerful in moments where he's needed to protect Zephie and whatnot. Once you've watched all the cutscenes, what you're going to want to do is pick up those 3 chests, and then you want to examine this blue research recorder.
Celestine, look at this. This looks like a device used to store research records. Among the headings is one labeled Vaizen Research Results. Research? What's written in it? This report details results of an experiment in which the body of a warrior of excellent abilities was used as raw material. I don't believe it. Experiment subject, Swordsman Vaizen. Experiment directors, Pure and Claire. So it was a Sentinel manufacturing experiment.
Damn. They even used Celestine's father.
No way! Papa! He got turned into a Sentinel? It goes on. Subjects, gigantism, and rampage. Capital's urban center destroyed as result. Unclear if this was result of subject's altered mind or his toughened body, but it has revealed some of the risks of monster-style Sentinel construction. After destruction of urban center, subject was captured, then transferred to Ruhalt Plateau. Disposed of at Ruhalt Plateau. Celestine, I'm sorry.
So the damage in the capital wasn't all due to the war. Part was because of a Sentinel experiment. What slimy bastards.
So, Papa's gone.
Celestine.
He died. That's why he never came to see me. Otherwise, he probably would have come back to Kotamari at least once. I need to tell the chief. Tell her that Vaizen the Silver is dead.
Celestine. At times like this, you need to let it all out.
Argo!
Celestine, let's go to the Ruhalt Plateau and look for Vaizen.
Argo, thanks.
You will never find him if you simply search at random. What I think we should do is go look for someone with ties to this incident.
Someone who was involved with the experiment, huh? It's not like we can go up to Huron and Claire and ask them to tell us.
Let's do some digging. Even if we look for him now, I don't think that we would be able to recognize him. I expect he was discarded as he was after the experiment.
Alright, so once you have researched that, you'll finish up the quest that was given to us a little bit earlier to look for clues about her father, and then we'll get another quest relating to her father as well. The next time we're able to go to Ruhalt Plateau, we can go and look for Vaizen. And once that is all done, you can leave out the southern door of laboratory number 3, and then we can start making our way towards the final laboratory, to the control room, which will hopefully mean that we can get the hell out of here. This place is really dark and disturbing, and I don't want to be here for any longer than I have to. But it's kind of neat because you find out so much story stuff. Judo gets his memory back in full. You find out a little bit more about Zephie's role in the war that she may not even know that she had. And you really find out a little bit more about how everybody has been affected by the war, Shuenzite, Sentinels, so on and so forth. As soon as you step out of laboratory number 3, you'll also get a letter from Jeroha. And he's basically going to tell us that they have remade Zebasa and Lekis, which were 2 of the Sentinels that we fought earlier on in the game. So, once you've read that letter, you'll get a quest to actually defeat them. And they are in the production rooms. They're in each of the pods in laboratory number 4. So I guess what we'll do is just go and defeat them before we actually go to the lab and look at the controls for the warp device. This will allow us to finish up the remainder of the quests in the area and to get a little bit of additional experience before we move on to the very, very deepest depths of the laboratory. I don't even want to imagine what is at the bottom of this place if this part of it is so horrific already. So I guess we can start by defeating Lekis. Now, unlike the first time around, this guy only has 1 health bar. And it seems to be a lot weaker than it was the first time we fought it. I do believe it can still poison you, but if you do successful chaining, you should be able to take care of it pretty quickly and quietly without it giving you much difficulty. There are 2 healing wizards present, and you may want to take out the wizards first. This is probably one of the only instances that I've seen where the healers will actually heal up the enemy. In most cases, when healers are present, they either die so quickly that they're not able to do anything, or they don't really seem to do much. But in this case, I have noticed that Lekis will recover a little bit of HP as long as they're around. So once you've taken out the healers, you can just focus on Lekis and he should go down pretty easily. But it does provide sort of a nice challenge, and it's showing just how powerful these laboratories are if they can just keep manufacturing these really powerful Sentinels that we keep defeating. We really have a serious problem on our hands. Especially if they can keep manufacturing, like, Algars, for example. Because Algar's just such a crazy, strong, super human being. So once we've defeated Lekis, we can get a sword for Judo as a drop. And then we can move on towards the next pod and defeat Zephie. And Zephie was the enemy that was on Highwind Island. It was the Sentinel that we fought in Azure Bell Forest with Rue, Celestine, and Judo. I find this guy to be a lot more of a pain in the butt than the other Sentinel we just fought, Lekis. And the reason for that is because Zephie can still stun your characters, so it had that really powerful sweeping hit where it would hit with its fists and it would stun you for a period of time, and it can still do that. And as you can see there, while I was dealing with the healers, Crocell got way too close and was basically smushed to death. So I'm gonna try and keep my distance here with Rue and Celestine and do a little bit of chaining and see if that helps. If we can stay away from this guy and we can avoid the stun, then we shouldn't have too much of a difficult time with him. There are definitely some commons that you can use in order to prevent stun, but I think because it's just one battle, it's not really worth me changing my equipment around or anything like that, but that is definitely something to be aware of. It's probably one of the only risks that I can think of with this guy. So I'm gonna back away slowly. And he's almost done. It only really took a few successful chains to get him out of the road. We get a hammer for Argo, and once we've defeated those two enemies, we also get to finish up that quest.
Aren't I awesome?
And we get some additional experience as well. So with all of that, we are pretty much finished with all of the side questing in the area. Now all that's left to do is to head into Laboratory 4, turn on the warping device, and then hopefully we can get to the bottom of the laboratory and save Zephie. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.